Greetings, YouTube. So it's time for a little bit of philosophy as well as game talk. I found myself pondering something the other day because it's what I do when I'm at work, making the same part hundreds and hundreds of times over the course of a shift. Um, Imagine for a minute that a character, and we're going to be talking about Pathfinder or the OGL D&D, Pathfinder First Edition, let me specify that, and they lose a limb. And there are no available divine casters. So the limb is gone. They don't want to walk around with a limb missing or hop around if it's their leg. And they have access to magic, high-level magic. So someone casts polymorph any object on them and just turns them into a copy of themselves, except they have all their limbs. So now they're fully formed. The limb, however, still exists because the limb is separate. So here's the first philosophical / magical concept. Does the limb exist? Or does the limb disappear when they become the new form? Now, I personally think that there's no reason for the limb to disappear. The limb is a separate entity at that point. You're polymorphing the living being, not polymorphing the limb. So the limb, whatever it is, still exists. So you got this person over there, they're fully formed, they're all set to go, they're fine. Someone finds the limb. They know somehow that that limb belongs to someone they know. Say it's a bracelet or signet ring, you get the point. They have access to high magic as well. They have someone cast True Resurrection through a wish spell. What happens? The person is a whole being. Their soul is in a whole body. Their limb is all you need to cast True Resurrection. You just need a part of the body. You don't need the whole body for True Resurrection. Resurrection spell you do. True Resurrection, you don't need a bit of the body. What happens? Now, you're going to probably say, well, Wish is a 9th level spell, and Polymorph Any Object is an 8th level spell. Okay, so the 9th level spell should take precedent over the 8th level spell. But what if the Polymorph Any Object spell was cast with a wish? So now you're talking 2 9th level spells, because a wish spell can emulate any arcane spell of 8th level or lower, as well as any arcane spell, any divine spell of 6th level? Is it 6th or 7th level or lower? I thought 6th level. Yeah, off the top of my head, I don't have the document in front of me. I've just used that particular spell over the years quite a few times. And so you've got now toe-to-toe, wish to wish. One wish made that person whole, and one wish is attempting to return a person to life through the use of a severed limb. Now you might be saying, but what does it matter? The person would still be whole. They're also going to be in 2 different locations. So effectively, if that happens, if the True Resurrection works, as opposed to the Polymorph Any Object, because the True Resurrection, I believe, is a 9th level spell on its own. It's just that Wish can emulate it in that particular way. You can bring anyone back from the dead. So you could say that the True Resurrection is more powerful than the Polymorph Any Object. So that one wins. But just imagine for a second, your friend is a fully formed individual, and also they just go into dust. And then that person finds themselves at the location of the person who has just cast the True Resurrection. Now they're in their full body, but all their stuff is back at the first location. So while they may be really happy, I know I feel like they may be saying to the person, you know, I really appreciate what worth the effort you went to because you brought me back from the dead. I wasn't dead, and now I'm naked. I have no stuff. Thank you. Let's get this problem solved. But I'm just curious, does the soul go from one spell to the other? Or if the soul is already occupying an existing whole body and the person is alive, would the true resurrection spell just fail and the individual doesn't understand why they have a severed limb, but their spell failed? Of course, if you got access to an untellable spell, you might be able to ask somebody, or you yourself might be able to research why that is true. But it would be an intriguing high-level adventure seed, I think. So I have no idea why this popped into my head. I don't know if there's an answer to this. I don't know if I'm just blathering about spells and philosophy, but it fascinates me that when you're doing that kind of high-level manipulation of reality itself, that sometimes things get pondering.